I'm Ray Stevens. I'm not a Foster fill-in anymore because I'm here with the company.
Yeah, you work for the company.
And I'm here on a day when we get to talk with Kori Rumore from the Vintage Trib, who likes to talk Chicago trivia. So let's welcome her in. Good morning, Kori.
Hey, Ray. Hey, Jane. Good morning, friends. How are you guys?
Hi, Kori. We're great.
You know, I'm relishing and not relishing, that's a bad word, but I mean, here we are suffering after a Chicago Bears loss. And I know that as we look at things vintage and things that you've looked at in the scope of what happened on this day, say 40 years ago, that we do have some Chicago Bears news.
Yes. So Halloween, there's going to be Bears weather tomorrow for it. And I thought we'd look back because George Halas died on Halloween 40 years ago this year. So I thought today I'd quiz you a little bit on how much you know about him outside of football.
Okay.
I like it. Wait, Kori, let me ask you this really quick. So yesterday you went into the Kori Rumore time machine. You jumped in and you went back 40 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
40 years. I don't know if the Bears were much better back then, but
I think they were. It was a simpler time. There was a smaller league, and then Papa Bear pretty much owned everything. So yeah, throw it down on us. What do you have?
There you go. Okay. Question number one: Hallas narrowly avoided becoming a victim of what major Chicago disaster? Okay, here are your options: A, the Iroquois Theater fire that happened in 1903. B, the sinking of the SS Eastland in the Chicago River, that was in 1915, or C, the derailment of an L car in the Loop in 1977. What do you think?
I'm going to go with 4. He almost became involved with the Green Bay Packers.
I like it, Ray.
I'm going to go all of the above.
Go ahead, Jane. Tell me.
All of the above.
All of the above?
Sure, why not?
Wow, he's very unlucky then.
Although I think I'm going to say 1903 was too early for him. So if we're going back 40 years and then plus, either B or C.
I like your thinking. Your thinking is right on there, Jane.
Thank you.
Was it the Eastland?
It was the Eastland. Yes.
Huh.
So here's the story. George Halas was a workhorse, and he worked for a company called Western Electric in the summers between college and high school. And so they were going to have this picnic. They were getting all of the families and employees on this boat called the Eastland in the Chicago River on July 24th, 1915. George Halas was supposed to be aboard this boat, but he was running late because he had been working out. He'd been trying to gain weight that summer.
Wow.
And so shortly before he arrived, this boat with 2,500 people on it tipped over on its side while it was still docked in the Chicago River. 844 people died. And in fact, I looked in the Tribune, July 27, 1915. On the victim list, you'll see George Halas's name.
No.
So, yeah, fascinating.
Kori, and it's Kori Rumore from the Vintage Chicago Tribune with us this morning. It's funny when Tom brought in your setup. I was telling him a story about my grandmother who almost got on the Eastland. She was 2 people from getting on. She worked at Western Electric.
Right. No.
So there was a Western Electric party or something,
George
right?
Halas.
She had to.
Yeah, it was a company picnic. They were going to Michigan City, Indiana aboard this boat for a picnic, right?
See, my mom never told me that.
And your grandma never got on because it was too packed.
Well,
so
yeah.
And she was going to the picnic too, right?
Yeah, obviously. And then as we now know, everybody went to the one side of the ship, and my God, it tipped right over in the Chicago River.
It was something like 21 entire family lines. So literally fathers, mothers, children were ended in that single disaster.
See, Kori, not only have you've piqued my interest, but now I have to listen to my mom tell me this story again and not say, "Mom, I need new stories," because I'm sometimes guilty of that. But the other thing is too, Kori, is and I think a lot of people that really know Hallas and Curly Lambeau understood what good friends these two were. I mean, they founded the National Football League, for goodness sake. So, well, all right. What else do you have for us?
Okay, second one. We all know Hallas played football professionally, but he also had a short-lived baseball career. What team did he play for? Was it A, the Chicago Cubs, B, the Chicago White Sox, or C, the New York Yankees? What do you think?
I'm going to go with D, the Schaumburg Boomers.
And I'm going to go with E, all the above.
No,
Okay.
Was it the Cubs?
Yankees.
No, it was not the Cubs, even though the Cubs were the inspiration for the Bears, the name of the Chicago Bears, once they moved to Wrigley Field. It was the New York Yankees.
What?
Okay.
Seriously. crazy. But the reason why you probably don't know about that is because he only played in 12 games. He had 2 hits, 2 singles, but he had a hip injury, and so he had a very short-lived Major League Baseball career.
See, now if that hip and bone and joint clinic that Steve talks about would have been around back then, he'd have had another 12 years.
He would have had a different career, probably.
All right. And on we go. We're talking with Kori Rumore. She is here from the Vintage Trib. We'll give you details on how you can find all her work that she does. It's a weekly thing that comes out about the history of this great town. What's the next one, Kori?
Okay, last one. So right before Hallas moved to Decatur to start the Staley's football team, he had a regular Joe job. What was it? A, railroad engineer, B, telephone repairman, or C, reporter? What do you think?
Huh.
I'm going to go. I think he was an engineer because he's smart.
Well, I'm going to go with the telephone repairman because he was working at Western Electric.
Oh, okay.
So maybe there's a tie in there. I'm going to go with B.
All right, Jane, you got it, Jane. You got it. I did not know this. Hallas had a bachelor's degree from the University of Illinois in civil engineering. So when things weren't working out in other places, he thought, well, I'll join the railroad. His mom agreed with that idea, thought it was a stable job. He didn't stay long because the next year he moved to Decatur for the Staleys.
All right.
I didn't know the Staley company manufactured starch. That was their thing.
God, I love your laugh.
I didn't either. They manufactured starch?
Kori Rumore, if we want to see your work, and I know you do this, and I know you're here as a regular on Steve's show, how do we send WLSAM 890 listeners to find everything you work so hard on?
Oh, you're so kind, Ray. Thank you. Just go to chicagotribune.com/newsletters. Sign up for Vintage Chicago Tribune, and I'll be in your email inbox every Thursday afternoon. And
it's kind of fitting that Papa George died on Halloween because last night that game couldn't have been any scarier.
Oh, it was pretty scary.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Kori, it's really nice to make your acquaintance. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kori. Have a great Halloween.
Right back at you all. Yeah, happy Halloween. Have a great week, friends.